Feeling lovely today? Yes. Need coffee? Always. Although I only ever have decaf in my house now, so it doesn't make that much of a difference. It just makes me feel better. Such a mental thing. And I do love this mug. Such a good mug. Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about Colourpop's newest collab. It is their Disney designer collection. So in case you have been living under a rock or you just haven't seen it, I mean technically Colourpop is a US brand. You can't get it very easily within the UK. You can order from their website and they do ship, but there's no like UK website or UK distributor. So if you didn't know, at the very beginning of October, I think it was like Friday the 2nd of October maybe, no that can't be right, basically a couple of weeks ago, so either at the very beginning of October or the very end of September, I think it might be like the 28th of September or something like that, my brain just gone today. Colourpop released a new collection called their Disney Designer Collection, and there were loads of products in there dedicated to Disney princesses, but it's kind of like updated it and a new little twist on it in terms of like all these princesses are like in proper designer outfits and it's a little bit more updated and a little bit more modern, which is really cool. I was one of the people that went a little bit crazy about it. I think they only announced it like 2-3 weeks before it came out, and straight away I signed up like, right, tell me when this is coming out. We got to 6 PM UK time when it came out and I was there refreshing the Colourpop website. Like I didn't even go to the gym that evening as I usually do on a Friday. I was like, no, I'm refreshing this because I want this collection. So as soon as it became available I was like, right, I already knew what I wanted by that point, and I was like, add to basket, add to basket, add to basket, done. I got the bits that I wanted. Happy days. And it came really quickly. It came a lot quicker than the Zodiac collection, which was the first load that I purchased. I picked up a few bits from the collection and I thought I would share my thoughts with them on you today because I have been using them for over a week now. I am wearing the products on my face right now. I didn't pick up everything, but I did pick up the bits that I knew I would wear and that I would want, so I'm going to share my thoughts with you on those today. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Let me know if there's any other collections you want to see me review. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's start talking about some products. So in the collection you can get a full eyeshadow palette which I think has 15 shades in them. There are also 6 individual of the Super Shock shadows. I didn't pick up any of those simply because a lot of the colours that were available were very similar or looked very similar to what was in the palette already. I think there was an exception of maybe 2, which was Under the Sea, which is like an aqua, kind of like the same colour as Ariel's tail shade, and also like a lilac-y colour. Those obviously, or those are not necessarily in the palette, but they're not colours I would wear, so I didn't pick those up. But I did pick up the eyeshadow palette. I think this was $20. Can't remember, I think that's how much this one cost. They also did 6 of their Cream Luxe lipsticks, all named after the different princesses, and the packaging on these is just incredible. They're all wearing like different designer outfits, which I think is really cool, and it's the same on the front of the palette as well, which I'll show you. I only picked up 4, so I picked up Snow White, Ariel, Belle and Tiana. I didn't pick up Cinderella or Jasmine, which were the other 2, simply because I just didn't think they were shades that I would use. They were very kind of, one of them was very kind of cool toned pink, which did remind me a lot of MAC's Pink Nouveau, which I do have, and I know I never wear it, so I kind of thought that might be a little bit of a waste. And I think Jasmine was a very hot pink. I have a lot of hot pinks, and again I don't really tend to wear them much, so I just didn't see the point in picking up those 2 because I knew I wouldn't wear them. But I did pick up 4, and I am loving every single one of them. And I also picked up 2 of their 3 lip glosses. So I haven't tried any of their lip gloss formulas before, and this is the Ultra Glossy Lip. So there are 3 that you can get in total. There's Bibbidi, there's Bobbidi and there's Boo. I picked up Bobbidi and Boo. Bibbidi I didn't get just because it was a clear lip gloss, and I don't wear glosses a lot anyway, but when I do I prefer that they are a bit tinted, so that's why I picked up Bobbidi and Boo. And then there was also 2 of the Super Shock highlighters. Again, I didn't pick those up simply because one of them was a very pinky one, which I wasn't that, I don't know, I go on and off my pink highlights. I was a bit like, it's okay, but I'm not that bothered about it. And the other one looked very similar to On the Cusp, which is the one I got from the Zodiac collection, so I thought it might be a little bit of a waste to pick those up. But anyway, I picked up a fair few bits, so I thought I would tell you my thoughts and run through some of my favourite pieces. That is what we're going to do. So I am going to start with the eyeshadow palette. I am wearing it on my lips. I am wearing it on my eyes today, and I have worn it on my eyes pretty much every day since I got it. And I mean, look how stunning that is. I really do love the whole way that they've done this. They haven't done it as your typical kind of Disney princess piece. They've really updated, they've modernised it, and I just love it. I love to think that this is what they would be wearing like if they were like proper influencers and things now, you know, and not fictitious Disney characters. But yes, but I did pick up the eyeshadow palette. I really like the formulas in the Zodiac one that I have, so I was very, very excited to try it. But at the same time, I was a little bit on the fence about getting it, simply because a lot of the shades, it's a very kind of pinky toned palette, and I do have a couple of those. And it does seem to be a bit of a theme at the moment. There's a lot of pinky toned palettes coming out. You've got the Urban Decay Cherry palette, which is coming out shortly. KKW came out with their Cherry Blossom palette. I think Huda Beauty recently redid their like rose gold palette. There's a lot of pinky toned palettes around at the moment. So I was like, maybe. And like, I don't know, when I looked at the shades, I wasn't blown away. But this is stunning. This is so nice, and the shades aren't just like, I feel like they're not necessarily normal shades, which sounds weird because they look like normal shades. But as an example, Triton here, which looks like your kind of bog standard transition brown, there's just something a little bit special about Triton, and I don't know if I can put my finger on it why. It's so beautiful, but I think it's got a tiny, it's like a satin shade. It's not fully matte, but just like the tone of it is, I mean, again, when you swatch it, it doesn't really look super, I mean, it looks a lot better there, but it is just stunning. It's such a lovely transition shade, and I've been using that a lot. Libra in the Zodiac palette was kind of like my go-to since I've had that, but this has definitely overtaken it just because I feel like it just gives a little bit something more. It's just something special. I really, really like it. That is beautiful. Abu as well. It just looks like your kind of normal matte brown, but it's got touch of shimmer in it as well. Very, very slight, but I've got that on like my outer corners today. It is beautiful. Ray, I can't even talk about how obsessed I am with Ray. I think this is the one I've used the most. If you look at it, it just looks like a normal champagne-y sort of a shade, but it's so buttery soft. It's so creamy. And it's just so stunning. This is like the most worn out of all of them. And when I looked at it, I was just like, it's just like a champagne-y shade, nothing special, but it is beautiful. It's just stunning. One Kiss, again, it just kind of looks like a normal kind of gold shade, but again, I think it's just like the formula is beautiful. The way that it blends, the way that it looks on the lid, it's just stunning. And Enchanted Rose is probably my second favourite in the palette. It's just beautiful. Enchanted Rose, oh, just look at that. Look how stunning that is. So pretty. Enchanted Rose and Ray are probably my two favourite shades in the entire palette. I'm wearing them on my lids today. So today I've just taken Grumpy, which is a very kind of pinky toned paler transition shade, but it does look really pretty through the crease. So I've just taken Grumpy and put that through the crease. I've gone over the top with Triton just to deepen it up a little bit, add a little bit more definition. I've put Abu just on like the outer corner, and then I've taken Identic Enchanted Rose over the about 2/3 of the lid on the way in, and then I took Ray and put that on the inner kind of third, and then just on the bottom, and I put Abu on the bottom lash line as well. And those shades all together just work really beautifully. I love just the transition between the champagne of Ray to like the lovely pinkiness of Enchanted Rose. I just think it's really beautiful, really pretty. And then I've also taken Beast, which isn't your normal kind of brown. It's got like some goldy, greeny kind of shimmer fleckles in there, which they're not like over the top. I've just taken that along my lash line as well, just to add a little bit of definition. But I really like almost all of them. Prince Charming, I would just say, is a little bit dusty, and that one is just like a little bit bitty and a little bit chalky. and I think it's because it's more of a glittery shade, so it's got a bit more kind of chunky bits in it. So I think if you are going to use Prince Charming, then you need to make sure you're using a really good eye primer with that, just because otherwise it's not necessarily going to stick. It's going to give it like a lot more fallout. I found that Pisces in the Zodiac palette was a very similar consistency. They are a little bit bitty, and I think it's because they are more glittery than the others. But overall, this is a really stunning palette. I really like the shades. I have been wearing it daily. It is just beautiful, and for a palette that I was like about, I can't even tell you how in love with this I am. My only criticism, there is no mirror. I wish there was a mirror on this, just because I think it would make things so much easier. The Zodiac one has a mirror, so I was really surprised when I opened this up and I was like, there's no mirror. Like, I just assumed there would be a mirror, but there is no mirror. I do get that they wanted to put like all the signatures, which kind of runs through the whole collection, but I don't think that was needed. I feel like a mirror could have gone like over the top and you could have still seen them, you know? So I would have preferred a mirror in it, but otherwise it's a beautiful palette. I really like it. It is beautiful. I think if you get anything from this entire collection, get the palette, and I do still think this one is still in stock, so I would highly recommend it. I really, really like it. Okay, so next are the Colourpop Luxe lipsticks. So this is their Cream Luxe formula, which after getting the other two from I know I keep going back to Zodiac collection, but that's the only other products I've tried from Colourpop before, and I really love that collection. After trying that formula, I was like, I do definitely need to pick up more of these, and there's so many shades I want to try from like other collections on Colourpop, but I thought there was so many different shades of these that I really liked, and I thought actually there's some really lovely autumnal wintry shades in here. So I picked up Snow White, Ariel, Belle and Tiana. Belle I was going to pick up regardless of whatever colour it was, because she is my favourite princess, and this is the shade that I am wearing on my lips today. So first of all, the packaging is really sweet. It's just gold with all the signatures on it. But this is a very kind of nice, cool toned, like mauvey pink. I just think it's really pretty. It's a very me shade, and it's very autumnal. I really like it. I think it will suit a lot of skin tones, a lot of people, and I just think it's very, very pretty. Like I said, I am wearing it today. It's very nice. It's very pinky toned. It's very cool toned. It's a very me shade, so I'm really pleased that I like the Belle shade, because I was always going to want to like Belle. I have to say my most used of the four is probably Ariel, which, I mean, I don't know where she falls in my list of favourite princesses. I do really like her. I love the songs from the Little Mermaids. Like, she is up there. She is good. But hers is like a very kind of nudie, it's like a peachy nude, I want to say, so it's still kind of pink toned going with the whole collection, but it's more of like a peachy shade. And actually I also brought up What's Your Sign from the Zodiac collection, because when I ordered Ariel I did think what the difference was going to be into those two, because they looked very similar. However, What's Your Sign is a bit more kind of browny. If I just put that underneath, you can see it's a little bit kind of lighter, it's a little bit more brown toned, it doesn't have quite so much pink or peach in it. So there is a difference between the two, because I was a little bit worried that they were going to be the same, and I basically just brought the same lipstick twice. But no, there's a definite difference in there. Let's put that one down. I do really like Ariel. That's probably the one I've worn the most, just because it is like an everyday kind of nudie shade, and it is just Snow White is kind of what you would expect Snow White to be. It is a beautiful red shade. I was wearing Ariel on my lips the other night. I said to my husband, I was like, guess what princess I'm wearing on my lips today? He went, Snow White. And I was like, Snow White, red, come on man. So yeah, it's just a very beautiful kind of typical red. I'm so bad at swatching on my arm. It is really pretty. I really like it. It's got more of like a warm kind of pinky tone to it, but I do really, really like that. I think it's so stunning. It's a really nice red. I like it a lot. And then last but not least, we do have Tiana. I was a little bit on the fence about whether or not I wanted to buy this, because I thought it's obviously catered more towards those with darker skin tones, because obviously Tiana is darker skin toned. But the shade is stunning. The only thing I would say for this, and Snow White actually, is where a lip liner with it. I was wearing this shade in my eyeliner video last week, and it was like on the 3rd day I was wearing this, and when I was editing that back I was like, oh, the colour is beautiful but it looks really messy. I should have worn like a liner with it. So that's the only thing I would say. But it is like a really gorgeous deep berry red. It is beautiful. I love it. It's got like a bit of berry tone in there. It's got like some red, it's got some brown. It's just a really stunning winter shade. I really like this. When I first like swatched these, I was like, that's one of the ones I'm most excited to try, which considering it was the one I was most on the fence about purchasing of the 4, I was very pleased. But overall, the lipsticks, like the Cream Luxe lipstick formulas are really nice anyway, and considering they're not a matte lipstick, they do tend to stay very well. They are beautiful, they're so creamy, they're really easy to apply, they're very comfortable to wear. I would say Ariel is probably my most worn. I do really like it. Belle is second because again it is like more of an everyday shade, but these two, Snow White and Tiana, they are also stunning. I would just, as I said, wear a lip liner with those two just because it will neaten up the whole look. And then last but not least, we have the 2 ultra glossy lips. So as I said, I picked up Bobbity and Boo. So Bobbity is more of like a coral peachy lip gloss. Not usually something I would go for, and obviously not very autumnal right now. So yeah, so Bobbity is just a really pretty peachy coral shade. I feel like this is like the perfect summer, spring kind of a lip gloss. I think that would just look so beautiful when it's more sunny and it's like that time of the year. And then Boo is something that I would more kind of naturally reach for and go for. And it's just like this beautiful kind of pinky, kind of like natural pinky gloss. It's a little bit darker than, I mean it's kind of more of like a autumnal pink because it's a little bit darker than maybe like a summery pink, if you get me, or like a baby pink, but it is really beautiful. Out of the 2, Boo is definitely my favourite. I'm definitely reaching for that a lot more than Bobbity. I don't know if it's just because of the time of the year or that I just naturally prefer pink glosses, but they are both really pretty shades. Boo is just my preference. In terms of the formula, I am very fussy with lip glosses. I think I've never been a lip gloss person, so I have to love it to actually wear it. And I love the formula of these. They are so comfortable to wear. You do know that you're wearing a gloss, but they just feel very nourishing. They're not sticky, which is like my biggest bugbear. They are just very comfortable. Yes, they're not going to last long because they are lip glosses. They're not meant to last long because they're glossy, but they are beautiful. I do really like the formula, and I have actually been reaching for Boo quite a lot, and I have worn this over the top of this shade, the Belle shade that I am wearing right now, or on its own. So I do really like both of those. Okay, so that is all of the products. I think my favourites from the collection would definitely be the eyeshadow palette. I've been wearing that a lot. Probably the Ariel lipstick, just because that's the one I've been reaching for out of the 4 the most. And also the lip gloss in Boo. It's just such a beautiful gloss shade and they're so comfortable to wear. So those would definitely be my absolute favourites if I was to pick. However, the whole collection that I've tried I do really like. But overall, it's a great collection. It's Disney, so I was always going to like it. But yeah, that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below which of the products below you like the look of, which one you would pick up, what your favourite one is, or even tell me who your favourite princess is. I'd love to know. But make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, but don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I have a giveaway coming next week, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, thanks very much. Thanks very much. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.